This is a very beautiful children's story floating around our home, a special book we recently gave to our son. We looked for it with a very clear intention, to make him see that even though we are sometimes away from home or spend many hours without seeing each other, and even though it might seem like we are far away and losing our closeness, there will always be an invisible thread connecting us to Him and to the people we love. This book teaches that no matter the distance, time, or hardships, that bond is indestructible. However, the story also explores the risk of disconnection, that deep fear that appears when we face overwhelming situations and, for an instant, stop feeling the tension of that bond. In that moment of emotional disconnection, uncertainty floods over us. We look around and we feel completely helpless. This human map is the exact key to understanding the true dilemma, subtle and painful, hidden in this week's Torah portion, Shelach Lecha. Our Chachamim, in the deepest texts of Hasidism, such as Torah Or, reveal a truth that completely changes the historical perspective of this account. Reading the text superficially, we understand that the spies were cowardly men who fear the physical giants of Canaan. But the sages clarify that the 12 spies were the heads of the tribes, men of extremely high spiritual elevation who possessed prophetic vision. Their connection to the eternal was direct, pure, and mystical. They lived under the protection of a miraculous atmosphere in the desert. Manna fell from heaven without them having to work. Water gushed forth effortlessly, and the cloud of glory enveloped them, keeping them in a sacred refuge, completely suspended from the needs of the outside world. In that environment, the invisible thread with the eternal was evident, constant, and tangible. There were no material interferences or everyday noises to distract them from holiness. The true conflict began when they crossed the border of Canaan. Their prophetic eyes confirmed it was a good land flowing with milk and honey, but they also discovered the true weight of reality. In that land, that suspended sanctuary of the desert was going to disappear. They understood that to obtain that milk and honey, they would have to plow the fields, sow sweat, build houses, trade, and deal with the density of material life. That is where absolute spiritual panic struck them. They asked themselves in anguish, if we surrender ourselves to the effort of this world, what will happen to our invisible thread? If we spend the day working the land, will we remain connected to the eternal with the same purity? Will we still hear His voice amidst the day-to-day worries? They were afraid that routine, exhaustion, and the mud of the material world would eventually wear down or cut the sacred bond they cared for so much in the desert. Their mistake was not physical cowardice in front of the giants, but a failure to understand the ultimate purpose of the Creator. As the Midrash teaches specifically in Midrash Tanhuma, section of Naso 16, God did not create the universe because He needed angels in the spiritual worlds. He created the world because He desired a dwelling place in the lowest, most ordinary reality. By letting themselves be dragged down by this fear, the people disconnected from the promise. They forgot that the word of the Eternal had already assured them of the land. They sent the spies not to map out a strategy of contest under the divine guidance, but to evaluate whether the risk of living their spiritual bubble was worth it. Losing the memory of the covenant, they looked at themselves and saw themselves as grasshoppers. When you stop feeling the thread that connects you to your source, any everyday problem becomes a giant that crushes you. The Eternal, who knows the fragility of our minds and the pain that this connection causes, does not leave us helpless in the desert of our doubts. Therefore, the parashah does not close with the decree of punishment, but with a balm of reconstruction, a tool to heal the soul, the mitzvah of the Tzitzit. God takes that invisible thread the spies feared losing and commands us to materialize it in the fringes of our clothing, crowned by a blue thread of techelet. In the Talmud, in Tractate Menachot, the sages explain the mechanics of this gift to us. Blue resembles the sea resembles the sky, and the sky resembles the throne of glory. The Tzitzit is the invisible thread of the Eternal made visible and tactile on our very clothing. It is as if the Creator, with infinite tenderness, were saying to each of us, I know the material world is difficult. I know that responsibilities, problems, and the routine of life can overwhelm you and often make you feel as if you've been left alone in the middle of the night. I know you fear that the giants of the day-to-day will cut your connection with me. That is why I give you this thread, so that when you walk through the world and feel the earth swallowing you up, you can look down, touch these fringes, and remember, the thread has not broken. I am still on the other side of the bond. The Torah and the commandments are not for fleeing the world. They are the bridge that allows you to walk the earth while keeping your soul secured to heaven. This teaching comes to heal our own wounds today. It reminds us that truth spiritually does not consist in waiting for life to be perfect, silent, or ideal like a desert to be able to connect with God. It comes to rebuild our lives by teaching us that in the midst of effort, daily work, tears, and routine, the invisible thread remains taut and strong. May we embrace our reality with courage this Shabbat, knowing that the Eternal calls us to maintain our connection with Him precisely there, in the heart of our daily tasks, with our feet firmly on the ground and our gaze eternally connected to our root. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.